This is Evan Smith for ProBoxing-Fans.com. I'm here with legendary judge Harold Lederman. Now, Harold, this most recent fight with Guillermo Rigondeaux, a little bit controversial. It was very quick, but what do you make of that as as a judge?
Well, you're talking about the one-round knockout, I presume, Saturday night. I mean, Guillermo Rigondeaux is a great fighter. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the guy can move, he can punch, he can box. This is going to be an awful tough guy to beat at 122. Now his contract's up with Top Rank. I wonder if we're going to finally get to see Guillermo Rigondeaux and Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, I think it would be a great fight. I've been saying that for a long time. I just, I like the fight very much because Leo Santa Cruz would make him fight. Because right now, Guillermo Rigondeaux, I mean, he just boxes. He moves, he boxes, he moves. Nonito Donaire couldn't touch him except in one round out of the 12, and if you can beat a Nonito Donaire, you can beat anybody. Guillermo Rigondeaux is a terrific talent. He's certainly not a fan-friendly fighter. What's the use kidding? I mean, he wants to move and box, much like Erislandy Lara did. And, that's not the kind of fight the fans want to see. The fans want to see a war. So.
Yeah, right. Do you think he could ever, because of that limitation, do you think he could ever be a pay-per-view draw in the future? Like Floyd Mayweather has that style, but he's more, theatrical.
No, Rigondeaux will never be Floyd. Floyd comes to fight. I mean, Floyd's in your face, and he'll stand to fight you. Rigondeaux won't. Rigondeaux don't want to get hit, and no, he'll never be Floyd. That's for sure.
Yeah. What do you think about the controversy? Do you think, I know it's protect yourself at all time. Do you think, kind of a little bit, people are talking maybe it was a little bit like Victor Cruz, Floyd Mayweather back in the day. I don't think it was quite like that, but what do you make of that?
Well, yeah, I mean, our man Sarge should have protected himself, and that's all there was to it. You hate to see the best fighters win on a you should pardon the expression, cheap shot, but hey, that's boxing.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some of these fights coming up. Let's talk first about the undercard a little bit. Bryant Jennings versus Mike Perez. I think that's going to be a really good one. I saw Jennings fight back in January when he took on Spica. How do you see this one playing out? Bryant's a pretty tall guy, and Perez comes to fight. I mean, big guy too. So what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, I hate to comment on a fight that I got to keep score on, but I'll tell you this much: I think it's going to be a terrific fight, especially if Mike Perez gets back to the old Mike Perez that fought Magomed. I think he was a little bit taken back by that in his next fight against Carlos Takam, and really didn't get off as quickly as he should have. He's certainly capable of beating Carlos Takam. He's quicker, he hits very hard, and he's big, and there's no question he's a top heavyweight. On the other hand, Bryant is one of the fastest rising guys I ever saw. Maybe it's because he comes from Philadelphia, where they have such great fighters and a great history of boxing. I think it's going to be a sensational fight. I think either guy could win. A lot depends on which Mike Perez shows up. I mean, if it's the same Mike Perez that fought Magomed, it's going to be a lot harder for Bryant Jennings than if it's the Mike Perez that showed up for Takam. So we'll see.
Now, do you think the winner of that might get a guy like Deontay Wilder?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Deontay seems to be waiting for Bermain Stavern for the WBC title. And then after that, he'll have to start making, if he beats Stavern, he'll have to start either doing WBC mandatories or hopefully get the unification fight with Vladimir. I mean, I'd love to see that turn up on HBO sooner or later.
Yeah. That'd be a great fight. And now let's just talk real quick about the Golovkin fight versus Geale. That one might not go to the cards. A lot of people are speculating. What do you think about this one? Golovkin's a very strong guy. Geale, they wanted to get that Chavez Jr. fight. They didn't get that time, but he's a pretty good fighter too.
Yeah, you can't look down a road. You just got to see what happens on Saturday night. Daniel Geale's a very tough guy. We saw that when he fought Darren Barker. It's the fact that he didn't win, but he had Barker on the floor, and Daniel Geale just keeps coming and never stops throwing punches. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, you could almost compare it to Provatnikov and Chris Algieri, Gennady's a great puncher, and Daniel Geale takes a hell of a shot, and he ain't going to quit. So it's an interesting fight.
And last, I just want to, since you did bring up Algieri, what do you think about that fight with Manny Pacquiao? How do you think, Algieri's got a lot of length, could you maybe work that jab, and maybe you think he has a chance to win on points against a great fighter like Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, I mean, he pulled off a miracle with Provatnikov. I didn't think he had a chance with Provatnikov, and he pulled it off. He certainly has the same chance against Manny, I mean, he's got a very unusual style. He boxes, he moves, he's very, very quick. He's quick on his feet. great ring general. He uses the ring like as well as anybody you've ever seen in your life. He can move and go, change direction. He does everything so well. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, great. Thanks a lot. This is Evan Smith for ProBoxing-Fans.com here with Harold Lederman.